This afternoon is an opportunity for you, the residents of Bellevue Chopin, to get all the answers you're looking for in terms of the development going on around Bellevue and also issues specific to health and the environment. The minister is here. Issues relating to housing, lands, water resources. We have a big water project going on here right now in Bellevue, if you need additional information on that. And anything to do with youth constituency empowerment, sports, etc., the minister is right here. So make good use of the time this evening, and again, welcome to this high-level meeting in Bellevue Chopin. At this point, let me just ask Mr. Chris Timmins, who is the project manager on this Montreal Management Consultants Establishment project, and he will give us an update of some of the things going on around us in Bellevue Chopin.
Put it simply, the project as we stand today is 5 distinct areas, and I don't know who can see behind me here. But we have going up the old Rosehill Estate Road, we have 2 areas which is, we call it A1. A1 here, A2. We have a small area here which we call B2. We have the new commercial area, farmers market, community centre, playing fields. We have an area C1 which is down the bottom next to the Petro Castle development, and an area at the top of the hill adjacent to Petro Castle development again, which we're calling C2. We've now got a mixed variety of residential units, which comes with 340 in total, plus 28 additional commercial units, which will be going into the building here at the commercial centre. There is a mixture of 2-bedroom apartments, 3-bedroom apartments, 3-bedroom townhouses, 4-bedroom townhouses in various mixtures. We have standalone 4-bedroom houses, we have semi-detached 4-bedroom houses, we have semi-detached 3-bedroom houses, and the apartments extend from the smallest as a block of 4 units to the largest as a block of 8 units. The construction is to a very modern standard. The structures are all reinforced concrete. They're going to last hundreds of years anyway. Internally, they are to a good modern standard. There's hot and cold running water. We have solar water heating in every individual unit. They have fitted kitchens. Everything you need, their bathrooms, showers, everything you need is there. They are wired Cat6 for computer compatibility within the bedrooms, within the living rooms. They will be provided, met with Flo this afternoon. They have confirmed they are changing their plans. It's no longer going to be a copper, it's going to be a fibre optic installation, which will give everybody high-speed internet access to cable TV, etc., whatever you want. It is a 21st century development, which should be reasonably time-proof for the next few decades. In terms of completion, the plan is the 2 areas down by the Petro Castles, this area, they will be complete, ready for occupation 1st of January 2018. The remaining areas up here, they will be complete, ready for occupation 30th of June 2018. The commercial centre, farmers market, the new community centre will be ready 1st of November 2017. 2017. The playing field is obviously included in that. Just a note here, since we did this plan here, we've extended that whole area to be a grassed area. So now there's a 7,200 square metres of playing field here. The basketball court, we are moving to the other side of the White House where we presently have our offices on a piece of land there, and that will also incorporate the children's playing area, etc. Giving 2 distinct areas within the community where sports events, community events can take place. We've started We've completed nearly all the stripping on the site now. We have started excavating for roads this week, up on the plots adjacent to Roselyn estate. Construction of foundations will commence on the 10th of March. The 3 local contractors, one of who is ACE Engineering, are well on site now. They're well over with stripping, road construction started. Caribbean Concrete will be doing the community centre, the commercial centre, the playing fields and the farmers market. And Chinese Construction Engineering Company, their representatives are already on site. They are completing the designs to enable us to build it. They are completing the procurement of materials ready for shipping. Their accommodation units will arrive over the weekend. They will commence on site in earnest on the 10th of March. It's a very compressed programme, it's a tight programme. We're going to have a big labour force on site, between 700 and 850 people at peak, of which we're hoping to employ about 200 local people within that, just within the Chinese company. Obviously Ace and Caribbean Concrete are already local employees anyway. We understand that it is going to be a big influx of people into the village. I'm hoping some of you will profit by it, by setting up shops, stores to sell food, etc. And what we would do is ask for your patience with us if you find the road jammed, if you find bits of dust, mud. We're going into the dry season soon, just as we start excavating. It would be naive of us to think that we're not going to generate some dust and noise, but please bear with us for a short period of time.
We think that this meeting is timely, very timely, to give you an opportunity to, of course, for Wade, myself as a parent, and the other government minister to speak to you. First of all, to report to you as to some of the things that we've been doing, and of course, as Mr. Shimon rightly said, the future plans for the Bellevue community. These are exciting times for Bellevue Chopin shop. Change is always exciting, that is once you're willing to embrace it. And we can already see the landscape of Bellevue Chopin changing. Starting of course with the wonderful work being done by my NEP people. And I really want to reach out to thank them for the wonderful. And really for Mr. Timmons and MMC, they started changing the landscape and the crew, and mostly women, Mr. Minister? Mostly women. They've been doing some wonderful work, and I mean, that they've been receiving accolades from each and everybody who traverses this part of the country. And I really want to thank you for taking this seriously, because this is the whole idea of the NEP, and not like it's being said out there that we're just giving away free money. We are really seeing the results of your employment here in Bellevue Chopin. So as I said, the landscape of Bellevue Chopin has started to change, and it's going to change over the next month and year or so. And of course, Mr. Chris, I keep calling Chris, and gave an overview as to what is going on. What I want to really leave with this afternoon is that I think that you, the Bellevue community, you have to put yourself in a position to take advantage of this project that is going to happen, which is the resettlement of the Petite 7 people. And we have also, in case some of you might be wondering, and I'm sure the question that in your mind is, okay, all of this is going to be for Petite 7. We tell you no, okay? We've said that before, and we say that again, it is not going to be solely for Petite 7. In fact, the location of the commercial center, where it's called the farmers market and the community center, and they also what they call the mini mall, and the playing field, okay, wasn't put there by random, okay? It was put in this strategic location to show that we're bridging the communities, which is the existing Bellevue Chopin community and the new settlement, which by the way is still going to be Bellevue community. Okay, so those of you even wondering about little petty things as to what is going to be called Petite Savanne or whatever, this is Bellevue Chopin, okay? Just so you know. Because and especially as it pertains to village councils and jurisdiction, these are governed by laws with actual physical geographical boundaries, okay? So this is just going to be an influx to the Bellevue Chopin community. So no, we are not going to have a new school for Petite 7 or for the additional people. No, we are not going to have a new health center. No, we're not going to have any new facilities. Whatever facilities are going to be put here, whether new or modified one, are going to be for the joint use of the existing Bellevue community and the incoming people to your community. So, I know some of the other questions might be asking, what about the health center and the school? Okay, plans are already underway. As I know within the Ministry of Education, I know that the Ministry of Education official would have already visited the site. There is ample land in and around the school area for expansion, etc. So that this is being taken care of. And the same with the health center, although we might have to identify a new location for a new health facility. Okay, but just know this is under serious discussion, and pretty soon when we have anything concrete as it pertains to the location, or whether we can acquire Mr. Minister of Lands, any additional lands, borrow, whatever the case may be, exchange lands from the Ministry of Education, which is the state government anyway, to expand the current health center. Because this current health center is not even adequate for the existing Bellevue community. I mean, let's face it, let's be honest. Okay, far less for another additional 1,000 or so people. Okay, so I'm just throwing this thing out because there's some of the questions that you might be asking. That the facilities that are being built, the farmers market, as I said, the mini mall and the playing field, the basketball court, the playground, this is for the entire Bellevue Chopin community. Okay, I want you to live. If you just want I want you to live with. Okay, so this notion, and I think I need to mention it, I like to be frank and be upfront. This notion that this is for Petite people and not for Bellevue people. Okay, I want you to live here. Okay, we stop out of your head. In fact, we have gone a bit further, and I mean, some of the council members will be here, and I think Honorable Reginald Austrie, with a very quick and impromptu meeting with the council. The Prime Minister would have given a commitment that some of the extra homes that are going to be built, because the old Petite Savanne would have had some 290 something homes, from what I remember, and he would tell you that we now have 360, 340 units. Okay, which means they're going to be extra, so to speak, for want of a better term, units available for allocation to, of course, some Bellevue people. So we have already started discussions with the village council. The councillors are there, they can tell if I lie or not. Okay, we already started discussing the village council to put together a list of people who would have been on the needing list for housing, and also, in addition to that, we also have a few petrol castles being built, of course, after the people who have been selected, that is, people from the rest of the constituency who would have lost their homes in Fort Saint-Jean, Petite, etc. Then there might be a few petrol castles. There will be a few petrol castles for allocation, okay, to the Bellevue residents, okay. So in all of these existing Bellevue people are not going to be left out. And
we should come first.
And I also remember question being asked as to the existing infrastructure in the old Bellevue, because I mean we see this nice settlement, okay, that's going to be done for the incoming Petite people, and tell us, boy, that when you put that side by side to what we have in Bellevue, how we're going to look. Okay, your Parliamentary government is taking care of that. In fact, as we speak, we would have approved, would have had the monies approved for the rehabilitation of 3 additional roads within Bellevue Chopin. We would have seen the completion of the Marble Road, although I know I see my cousin Carol watching me that the plans later will be to extend it all the way to the top, where we still have one or two people living, including my very old uncle. Okay, but we would have seen the complete rehabilitation of the Marble Road, and very few people have said, Dr. Darroux, thank you and good job. I mean, I think it's a wonderful piece of construction. I really want to thank the contractor, Mr. Moranti, for the really nice, stellar and we have to make demands and ask, okay, demand from our parliament. Okay, but when things are done, I think it's also fitting that we see a little, we show a little appreciation. So Mr. Moranti, thank you very much, sir. Very nice work, neat work.
Call his name, be precise.
Okay, so as I said, we already have the funds approved for additional 3 roads. This will have been part of the what you call the community enhancement and road project that we are about to launch. The Gwenville Road, the completion of the Gwenville Road, the Leswa Road, if I said that correctly, and also the Playing Field Road. Okay, together these roads are going added up to additional probably almost $600,000 that will have had the money is committed to by the Honorable Minister of Finance, and pretty soon we should see this money arriving in the coffers of the village councils to do these roads. Okay, so we're not going to leave I'd like to deal with the existing Bellevue in terms of improvement. Okay, we're going to try our best to continue to improve the road infrastructure and housing, whatever the case may be. So that we become on top. But just to let you know, as I said, okay, these amenities, the playing field, the mall, the community center, all of these are going to be for the Bellevue communities. I don't even want to use the word two communities because already it suggests of the vision, okay, for the entire Bellevue community, including the incoming residents. Okay, I hope we have this clear. So this playing field and the mall and everything is not just going to be for the Petite people coming to live in Bellevue. And I want to thank some of you. I know some time ago there was this welcoming committee put together. I'm not sure if they've gone dormant a bit, but I think it's a very good idea where some leaders of the community, including the councillors, put together this welcoming community and invited some of the Petite Savanne resettlement committee members to meet, to try to break the ice, to try to close the gap, because clearly, even if we're from the same constituency, there will be some sort of a little culture clash, okay? Petite Savanne people, we're very strong in culture. We like cricket, and I know here in Bellevue Chopin, I know you like football, you with me? Which is why Mr. T-Man, Chris, will tell you that. Can I say that, Chris? Yeah, can I say what you did? We put a lot of pressure on the MMC to insist that the playing field is right now built to the size that we see it. Okay, I mean, Chris is here, he can attest to that the current space was going to accommodate a field and a basketball court. Okay, but we realized that the grass area that was going to be allocated wasn't going to be sufficient for then maybe a little football game, but cricket is also important, especially for the incoming residents of Petite Savanne. So we felt that whatever we're going to build had to be, yes, wrong that also, yes. Whatever we're going to build had to at least accommodate a decent cricket match. And the developers were very generous in obliging and making a few adjustments. So the basketball court is now going to be moved to, he said, some area closer to the White House, it's called? Yeah, yeah, the huge White House on the other side of the road. And then the farmers market is also going to be moved to the current and historic location of the Petrol Castle. So this means that we now have a lot more space for the playing field, and I hope that you are satisfied with what you see, okay? At least now. So we spoke about the improvement to the roads, housing, although Bellevue Chopin, I mean, in all fairness, is not, we don't have a lot of acute housing needs. Yes, we have one or two isolated cases that we are dealing with the council. The council have been asked to put together a list of the people, when we met with the Prime Minister, a list of the people who need an acute housing attention. And then this is being done. I was also authorized by the Honorable Minister of Finance, Prime Minister, he's the one who holds the purse strings of the country, to announce that within the next week or two, that $150,000 is also going to be sent to the council for small business. Okay, now we need to talk a little about that. Okay, the fact that this money is coming doesn't mean that it's going to be a free for all where everybody decide where they want money is okay to do X, Y, Z. And what we see happening a lot of times is that people receive government funding and they do all other things they did except what it was given for, okay? This is going to be done in a very strict way. Okay, we'll have standard application forms that you will apply. You have to submit invoices, etc. And rest assured that even though some of the councillors, especially Mr. Shillingford, who are currently in the council, that you will be visiting, whatever project you are going to do to ensure that the monies that you are given are spent what is going on, not take it to go St. Martin for weekend to shop with your boyfriend. No, it's true. I mean, these things happen. Okay, or one cruise. Okay, with your wife, husband, girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever the case may be. Okay, so this money is going to be made available to the council. As I said, we'll have standard application forms that you will fill in. Myself as a parent will sit down together with the council and go through the application and decide which of these. And it's something that we want to do very quickly because, as Mr. T-Man, as Chris said, that you have to be able to take, you have to be in a position to take advantage of all of these people, Chinese, local, South, wherever they're coming from all around Dominica, Portsmouth, that will be coming to Bellevue Chopin, either passing through during the course of the day, or some of them will be actually living in Bellevue Chopin. So you have to start thinking of these things when you make your application for the small business funds. The Minister of Finance also asked me to announce that $220,000 will be approved also for washrooms. I would have also received a list from the council as to the people in Bellevue Chopin requiring washrooms. I think we had a list of about 20 or so. Our famous eradication of Petite project. I want to speak a little to that because especially for those of us who like to listen to some of the nonsense being spoken of it, and to think that a washroom is, to laugh at it, because we felt that we grew up with an indoor washroom facility. I grew up in Petite, Savanne, and I remember in my very early days, my toddler days, I used pit latrine. And it's not an easy, trust me, it's not an easy thing to use. And Minister Austrie, I know you might probably a little bit to that when you talk. Having to wake up in the middle. Sorry. Welcome, Honorable Roselyn Paul. Welcome to the Bellevue Chopin. And it's not easy having to wake up in the middle of the night, sometimes raining, okay, to cross the yard or whatever, a few meters, 100 meters sometimes to access an outside facility. So while some of us laugh at it and we think it's a very modest or humbling project, okay, the comfort and the change that it brings to some of the people, especially our senior citizens. I mean, I say that every time I speak about it. I was a district medical officer, and part of our job was to go around and do home visits to the shut-ins that the elderly people, what they call bedridden patients. And it's not a pleasant sight, not smell people, okay, coming into an elderly person's room, okay, who have had a kitchen, a kitchen utensil, a potcham, everybody that's a potcham. We have human waste there for this for 2-3 days, because a lot of them would be at the disposal of the neighbors of Good Samaritan to help them clean up, you understand me? So while we laugh at it and we talk about what is a washroom, and well, a guy even wrote a song right when he's carried in the toilet, but I'm telling you that the Minister of Health, as the Minister of Health and Environment, I'm happy that Kenneth giving people toilet. I'll tell you why, okay? Because just a few months after this program was launched, we would have with the United Nations themselves, okay, launching an attack, okay, against latrines and launching war against the whole issue of human waste disposal, etc. So while I said people laugh at it, it is no laughing matter to me. It is a serious help. It is going to put about increased standard of living of our people, especially our senior citizens, and also improve our health and environment. Okay, so another 220,000 have been committed for the washroom project for the first 20. Hopefully we wouldn't have more than 20 to do from what the list have been given. If anything, we can always deal with it afterwards. You would have also seen work started on your long-awaited water improvement project. That's the water, that's the CDD-BNTF project. Work has already started. In fact, if you walk up the Darroux Road, okay, you will see that the contractors would have already been digging the drains for pipes, etc. Now, just one thing, and some people and some of the smarter ones would have asked at the previous meeting that this project was designed for the existing Bellevue community, okay, to increase capacity, because however, now you're going to be asking yourself, so, but now we know another 1,000 or so people coming to Petite, and what's going to happen? The project is also going to come with own water development and supply, okay, I think Chris failed to mention that. So just to lay your fears or your concerns to rest. So you're not going to say, yes, they're going to build a new water project, but they're going to come back to the same thing because we have 1,000 more people coming. No, the Petite Savanne, well, the new community, addition to the community is going to have its own water development project, as Chris probably alluded earlier. Okay, so we've seen work started on this. So just to before I round up, so to give my guest minister the chance to speak, to let you know that these are, from where I see that the paragraph, I think it is a very exciting time for Bellevue Chopin. I mean, the hard cut that you're going to be built for your use is going to be more people with hard cut, state of the art, and basketball and lighting and all of it, and even nicer than the one I did in Krishna, right? Yeah. He said even nicer than the one we did in Krishna. So I don't want you, the Bellevue people. I also see a few Petite people already there, which is good. I think it speaks a lot to the integration and everything. I see a few Petite people living in Bellevue already there. Yes, a number of them. So I don't want you, the existing Bellevue community, I don't want you to look at it as a Petite Savanne thing, okay? It is Bellevue Chopin. The community is going to be resettled within, as I said, the geophysical boundaries of Bellevue Chopin. Okay, so I wanted to embrace this project. I wanted to embrace the people as they come in. I know you've done for those of them living here already. And I'm sure that when the project kicks in, especially the construction phase, and some more of you are employed and the small businesses get started, I'm pretty sure that is going to help go a long way to help in the whole integration process. But before I end, I think I need to maybe just spend 1 minute or two to speak to a very important, especially current, a trending topic, as they say, and in modern language. We would have heard a lot as to, well, first of all, I'm sure somebody asking, but Tropical America passed, okay, and left us $1.4 billion. We're scared, we're scared. Let me say the government. Okay, the government getting all this money to do all of these projects, okay, because I'm sure you would have heard, okay, that as we speak, that right now we are going through the communities and trying our best to see how we can develop these communities, especially the rural areas. And the answer to these people is plain and simple, is CBI. Okay, and a lot of you don't know what CBI is the Citizenship by Investment Program, okay, which has created so much talk and controversy over the past few weeks. But first and foremost, let me just let people know that there is nothing illegal or nothing. The CBI is a legal and authentic program which is being run in many countries all over the world, including the great US of A. Okay? Where they have this program that you spend $500 million, $500 million, $500,000 US, they expedite, they fast track your green card, which is your permanent residence. Okay? What this did, and we have checks and balances in place. When the application is done, okay, due diligence is done, and when the passport, and the notion that some people have that Austrie, myself, and maybe this and maybe Roselyn going around with passports in their pocket and telling people, okay, come have a passport yourself, you know how much you're doing. Or maybe some of us probably think that we have a passport machine in some of our offices, okay? Please, people, okay, there's only one authorized authority in the state, okay, to do the passport, that's the police, someone for the police for immigration. However, the citizenship by investment works like this. You would have probably invested probably in an insurance, or you would have maybe come from a wealthy family. And then you decide, okay, that you would like to a second citizenship, like plenty of people do. I can even share a picture if you have St. Lucia, where this big billboard, when you near the airport that says, come as a tourist, live as a citizen. With me? So you decide, okay, that you would like a second citizen for whatever reason, to settle down, okay, to go on vacation, to facilitate the travel, because the country where you're from, probably like your passport wouldn't allow you to travel, you know, to as many countries as whatever other country. This is just part of the whole global and modern times that we live in. So you would decide you want to invest some money in either a project or within the government, a government project, or any other project in Dominica. You decide $100,000, you want to invest in $1,000. Okay, due diligence is done on you, like meaning that we have people overseas that go about, and then they ask them, maybe through the FBI, Interpol, okay, is that person, you know, who's this person? Is there any suspicion about this person? No. You get it all clear, and then you issue citizenship and a passport. This is how it's done. Now, this CBI money, and I said, this is what is keeping us afloat as we speak. Okay, so the other guys out there can rant, they can rave, okay, but the fact of the matter is, without this citizenship and investment program funds that we have been able to raise, especially in the past couple of years or so, that Dominica, we would be in serious issues, we would be in serious problems now, especially as it pertains to helping and developing the rural areas. So all of these wonderful programs that we have talked about, and the free roads that have been approved, all of this money is going to come from this CBI. So when you hear people talking about this thing like it is this sinister and evil and thing that is going on, okay? It's a legitimate program, as I said, run by many different countries. So then we need to empower ourselves and to understand that. Because other than this, all we'll be doing now, people, is we'll just be now at the mercies of the grants that we'll be receiving after RICA, and that we rebuilding, doing the replacing the bridges, etc. This Petite Savanne settlement, for those of my Petite Savanne people who are here, and even the Bellevue people, you need to understand that when the people out there are trying to destroy the CBI program, the success and completion of this Petite Savanne settlement, which is going to cost over $100 million, right, Chris? Okay, over $100 million. The success and completion, well, continuation and completion of this project depends on the CBI. So when you have fellas out there talking nonsense and trying to create issues with this program, Petite Savanne people need to understand what's at stake here. Because this is the $100 million that government would otherwise have to come up with. Okay, that's where we're going to get $100 million, boss. You understand me? To build homes of Petite Savanne people. I'm not sure you understand what I'm saying. So when this program is destroyed, the Petite Savanne people, just know that You will have to be at some point in time. So while we've tried as much as possible, I see Honorable Charles is there, we've tried as much as possible to assist all people as much as we can in terms of assisting them with rent and allowance, all of that. There comes a time when we have to cut this off. Okay, there comes a time we will cut it off, especially if the CBI program fails. And then if the CBI program fails like a lot of people want it to do, okay, it means that this resettlement program will not continue to not finish. So that means put this on no, I mean, I see it as it is. Who will have to decide who want to go back to Petite Savanne and take their chances there? Who will have to you guys following me, right? So some of us out of ignorance and because of partisan and loyalty, we just go about and start, doing all sort of nonsense, talking nonsense. But we have to understand what happened. We need to also separate this from the citizenship investment program from the whole issue of the diplomatic passport, which I'll just touch on. Dominica is a very poor country, people. No pani law, no pani oil, no pani. Now we're trying to do a little thing with geothermal, okay, to see how it can assist us. And we've always said that, and those of us who take time to inform ourselves, we know the way the world operates, that we need that a lot of countries now have representatives and offices all over the world to assist them to promote investment, educational, and economic opportunities. But we as a small developing nation, we cannot afford to have an office in all major countries across the world. Yes, we have offices, for example, in New York, traditional America, and England, and don't forget in Canada. Okay, however, the world as we live in now extends far beyond America and England, far beyond our traditional friends. So what we've done, we've realized that there's a lot of opportunities in some of the other parts of the world, like in the East, in India, Malaysia, and Sri Lanka, just name it. So we would have identified people who we think can help us, and people who would have come forward to assist, okay, to volunteer to assist us in promoting our country. So of course, to facilitate these people's work, they would have been issued a diplomatic passport. Like everything else, as I said, due diligence would have been done. There was nothing was found with people. Afterwards, they just found out that, and we know what happened, okay, this passport have been cancelled. So let us fool ourselves and get ourselves embroiled in all of this to make it look like it's some sort of crime that the Prime Minister and the rest of the cabinet are doing, okay? Whatever we're doing is in the best interest of Dominica, because as I said, without the CBI, none of these programs, none of these things that we see happening now, that doesn't have anything to do with the Republic of America, would be continuing. So I'm going to rest there for a while and to give my fellow ministers and colleagues a chance to share some thoughts with you. And then of course, at the end of this meeting, we'll be free to take any questions that you may have. Thank you very much.
But let me say, it's a pleasure to be here with you tonight, and at least the number of people who are here, it speaks to your interest in what is happening in your community, in your country, and you want to hear what we have to say to you, and you want to probably ask your questions to make sure that you understand, you live here, understanding exactly where you are in the development process and what is your role in all of that. Because as you will realize, we as government cannot do it alone. We need your support, we need your collaboration. I want to say though that having listened to Dr. Darroux and all of the things, and having listened to Chris and the development program that is happening in Bellevue, although the objective or the aim is to make sure that we can comfortably house the people from Petite Savanne, but you are now hearing that it is going to extend not just to Petite Savanne, but some of you from Bellevue will be benefiting from that, and some of the people from outside of Bellevue. So at least it speaks to the well-being of not just the Petite Savanne people, but all of you also in Bellevue. Now looking at all of the other aspects of the development, the sports aspect, looking at the community, the market that is going to be constructed, looking at the community center, because even as we sit here in the school, as soon as I came in, I said, well, Dr. Darroux requires a community center, because I recognize here it's really small, and if the community is expanding, you definitely have to make allowance for the expansion. So definitely there is going to be opportunity for all of you from Bellevue. And I am happy the course that Dr. Darroux took. We must not just see it as Petite Savanne, we must see it also as part of us. Because one, Bellevue is already a beautiful community. Very beautiful. We drive through Bellevue. Now, the NEP people are doing a splendid job. I mean, I drive through there every day. I really want to commend you for that. And sometimes when we walk through and we meet other people who are working under the NEP in enhancement and beautification, we make reference to some of the communities that are doing very well, and that includes Bellevue. So I really want to commend you for all of that. Now, it means therefore, with all of that development, there are going to be opportunities for all of you. When we listen to Chris and he said the amount of locals that will be employed, I am not even sure Bellevue will. I'm hoping during that time, we should not have any young man who is willing to work unemployed. So it's an opportunity now for the people of Bellevue, to grab that opportunity, Savanne and neighboring communities to come and take advantage of it. So definitely you're going to have economic activities taking place in the community. You're going to have an increase in your school, well, the school population will definitely increase. So you will have an improvement in your school facility. You'll have an improvement in your health center facility. And all of those things create opportunity for more employment. Because if the health center is built and is bigger, we will need 1 or 2 people to clean it. We will need 1 or 2 people to clean the school. You know, so definitely let us look at the bigger picture, because there are opportunities for all of you. So I really want you to embrace that. And I want to, although I should have done it earlier, but I really want to applaud the people from Bellevue for so willingly and openly accepting the people from Petite Savanne.
I will clap on that.
Yes, I know. Because anytime new people come into our community, there will definitely be concerns, and that is legitimate. But at the same time, we are happy that you understand the situation in which they work, just as I had to try to understand the situation of the Jewish people and bring them into Grandbay. You in Petite Savanne have to understand, because it could have happened to any one of us.
Any one of us.
No,
I have an active volunteer there.
We do not know tomorrow which other community, but we pray that nothing happens. That can be affected, and we have to open up to receive them, because if we were in their situation, we would have wanted somebody to receive us with open arms. So I really want to commend you for all of that. Alright, but as I speak to, I really want to take the opportunity, as we know, as Dr. Darroux said earlier, nowadays the talk is the CBI and all of those kinds of, and how the opposition is trying to really see if they can bring an end to the CBI programs that we have in Dominica. I cannot leave any forum at this point. That's okay, because he was leading and standing right when you were at school. So that's fine. Now the thing is, we have to recognize there are many social programs taking place in Dominica, from which Bellevue people are benefiting, and all of which are funded by the Citizenship by Investment Fund. We have the national employment for all of you who are cleaning. I'm not sure if you have cooks in your school. Where else you are employed? Some people may be employed in the private sector, in the public sector. You know, but there are people employed across the island under the national employment. And it means, therefore, many of our young people have gotten an opportunity to do something and earn some money to help themselves. And that is because of the Citizenship by Investment Fund that is available. In Bellevue, every community we have people 70 and over, who for some reason some of them were neglected, some of them you are doing your very best to take care of them, but some of them were challenged financially to meet their little daily needs. Some of them worked hard to bring us where we are now, but they did not work to be able to earn something from Social Security or from what, because they'll tell you they paid Provident Fund and all of those kinds of tools that we're not very familiar with. So now that they've worked hard and they're home, depending on somebody to reach out to them. We've given them, empowered them, the government have empowered them a little, and give them it was, in fact when we started it was $200 per person, 70 and over. We've increased it to $300 a month. It means therefore, and that is why I sometimes say when people complain and say, oh, one said getting and I don't get and those things. I like to rope it in. If your mother is getting $300 or your granny or your aunt is getting $300 and you were before, you would have given her maybe a pound of, say a little nylon, if a pound of sugar, a pound of milk, a little Milo, a little cube cheese, you know, you were sending a little package for her at the end of the month. It means therefore, and you have your own commitment, it means therefore, you can now spend what you have to take care of your little commitment, knowing that she's getting a little $300. So it means whatever you were giving to her is remaining in your pocket. So you are benefiting from that. Okay? So we need to understand and see it, not just see it as if you want to pay the bill for her from your salary, you can allow her now to pay a little market and a little pay as you go and a little water, and you can use that money for something else to take care of your children. So we must look at it that way. In terms of roads, Dr. Darroux spoke of the amount of roads that is going to do, because government is now embarking on a national road rehabilitation program, and we are going to make sure that we can take care of all the secondary roads across your island. And all of that is funds from CBI. You will say, oh well, it's not been as building the road. But if the road to your house is bad, it means therefore the bus driver will not drop you there. Okay? So it means therefore you are going to benefit. If you are sick, the ambulance can reach in front of your door or as close as possible to your door to take you. So we have to show appreciation for all of those things that are happening. Yes, we can. These again are senior citizens who work hard and were abandoned by some of their relatives, or some relatives are overseas and cannot stay home to take care of them. Some of them are in Dominica but employed somewhere else and cannot stay home to take care of them because you have to take care of yourself. No government is paying people to stay home and take care of the people that you and I should be taking care of. It's our responsibility to take care of our senior citizens. But for some reason, some of them, when you go to visit them, they are home, they need a little tidying up, they need somebody to go and do a little message, you know, they need somebody to help in their daily activities of daily living. So somehow, government saw, you know what, we need to reach out to these people. They worked too hard. And so we are now doing that. Other than that, if you are working, you would have had to pay somebody to take care of your granny. So that money is again staying in your pocket. We need to understand and put them in perspective. The Minister of Small Business is there, so I am not going on that road at all tonight. I am not going on the washroom road, neither housing. But just to say that all of these programs are funded by the CBI funds. If for some reason that fund will have to stop, you can imagine the amount of young people that will be out of job. You can imagine all of the social programs stopping, the washroom program stopping, the housing revolution. All of those things would have to come to a halt because we have other things that are more important to do with what we have.
Sure. Because
the CBI funds are available, it means therefore we can continue government's routine programs, and we have this little fund that we can now piggy bank on to assist us with other programs. But if we did not have it, it means therefore we could not do the road rehabilitation program. We would not be able to go into the washroom program because we have the schools, we have the health centers, we have all of those things to take care of and make sure things continue as usual. We have salaries to pay, you know, so we cannot now take those money and go into road. So road would be secondary to us. So we need to understand when the Prime Minister goes out and lobby and get those funds, it's not for himself, it's for the people of Dominica. And therefore you have a responsibility to defend the program because you are all, one way or another, benefiting all of us. I just want to say to you, as government, some people will say, oh, but Linton is doing all of that, and they have not arrested him, and this not doing that, and this not doing that. No, we are focused. The devil never out there burning the streets and behaving bad. We have a very productive day in cabinet. Post that day, our work as usual, taking care of our people. Now, as the Prime Minister said, as a Prime Minister, you have to remain calm, you have to remain well collected, and so when you act, you know you act with right judgment. People are asking that you do things, so we have to take our time and do what you have to do. We need you to remain focused. Do not allow yourself to be distracted by what is happening outside there. And to all of those who may be giving support to those things, woe unto them tomorrow if something happens, and we will all understand the implications it will have on all of us, on our children and our future generation. So I ask you all to remain calm. It's carnival time. Some people may go to Roselyn and enjoy yourself. Please enjoy yourself peacefully. Stay away from trouble. When you know some people starting their little fire, stay away from them. Stay away from them. Let us continue in the development process as that we started. So I pray that God continue to bless all of you. I pray that we remain focused, remain united as a people, and we stand for the continued development of Dominica. Thank you.
Indeed, I am very happy to be here to share with you what the government's programs and investments for private sector and enterprise development in Dominica, and also with reference to small business. The government of Dominica tackles private sector development from various fronts. For one, you would have heard by now that the government has provided established credit facilities that is affordable with very good terms, concessionary loans at the Agricultural and Industrial Bank, Development Bank that is. $10 million has been provided for the development of agriculture, so that farmers can now access these loans at 3% interest rates and with a grace period of 6 months. And I've learned that sometimes it even goes beyond 6 months. And so far, within a 5 months period, $700,000 has been disbursed to farmers. So it indicates to you that it was responding to a real need, that farmers needed this facility in order to expand agriculture. Government also invested $15 million, made available to the aid bank, $15 million that targets hotel owners and restaurateurs. $15 million for the tourism sector, specifically hotels and restaurant owners. Also, very recently, we approved as well $1 million to go towards music and artists, the creative industries. And in a few weeks' time, you would have heard the minister say that a similar facility will be established to benefit manufacturers and agro-processors. All of this is investment in the productive sector so that you can have sustainable agriculture, sustainable economic development. And as you have heard from provisions made from the CBI for other sectors, these have been made possible only because we have the Citizenship by Investment program. And I want to take you back to memory lane. At one point in time, under the UWP, they would borrow money from the private sector to pay salaries. Now the reverse is true now, that government now has resources that it can invest in the productive sectors, that it can invest in the private sector, and to ensure sustainable development. We also have private sector development is also being stimulated through investment, again via the CBI, in real estates. There are about 6 projects under the Citizenship by Investment program. With the CBI, you could either invest directly, or you could invest in a specific project. And the MMC is one such project. The Range Development Hotel in Bellevue is another. The Bois Outlet, which will take place in the south. The Jungle Bay. So there is also the Silver Beach and Stone Incorporated. Anyway, there are 6 projects. 5 of them are hotel development. These developments will indeed provide employment and will also have the impact of creating or expanding existing businesses or new businesses. Because when these hotels come into operation, not only will they provide employment, but they will also provide opportunities for small businesses. And further, not only when they will be operated, but during construction, they provide opportunities for the hardware places to provide supplies. You provide stones and everything you need for the hotel development. And just going to the Range Hotel, PH Williams set up shop just opposite the Range Development. So right there they can access or they can sell to the developers right there on site. We also have the hardware places in surrounding and even in Roseau providing supplies. And further, the small businesses are benefiting. I saw 2 mobile snack kits right there at the Range Hotel, selling lunch, selling breakfast, selling snacks. So already you can see the backward and forward linkages of having these projects and how it benefits people economically, how it benefits private sector and enterprise development. The government also, we at the ministry, we have a grant program targeting small businesses. This allows the ordinary men and like you and me who would not have the necessary collateral probably to face the bank or are unable to take the risk and you want to start off a small business. You are provided with financial, material and technical support, technical advice. We do the monitoring on it as well. We give you advice, we do the hand holding, and you can access small business grants from the Ministry of Commerce Enterprise. And I am sure that some of you within these villages, within Bellevue, have benefited from small grants from the Ministry of Commerce Enterprise. Right. And youth grants, not to be paid back, not grants. Because we appreciate the fact sometimes you have women, single mothers or young men who do not have the wherewithal to get into business. But we start you off, or if you have a little business, you can expand. And do not underestimate the value of probably just a $10,000 to start a business. Many big businesses started probably in somebody's house, in somebody's bedroom, with a little bit. Dell computer, he started off with 1 computer at his home. You know, so he started off very, very small. We think of people like Suki, who had humble beginnings, maybe passing house to house as the fans. So at $10,000 or at $12,000 or at $8,000, a woman who can get a sewing machine, she get the training, she get the sewing machine, and begin to do her little sewing, can reach very far, can feed your children, can feed yourself, can become gainfully employed through the small business. So we do provide that program. We also have what we call a rural-based enterprise development program, where we go into the communities and where you have existing structures that are underutilized. We work with the community, we look at the specific needs, and we get young people, young men, young women, or even adult people to work as a group. We may do it two ways. They may be trained in a particular area, and then we come in and we help them to incubate. We do all the training throughout a 1 year incubation, 1.5 year incubation, to get these people to be full-fledged businesses. So in a number of communities around Dominica, we have started this process where we work with a group or individuals. We set them up. We give them the necessary tools and equipment. We give them the necessary training if needs be. And then we do the hand-holding for 1.5 years that they can become full-fledged businesses. One such center, we also do that for clustering. So sometimes they do not need that incubation, but we can bring people together who do not have the space to work in under in one building, in one space. So they share space, they share experience, they are maybe in similar type businesses, and we work with them. One such program will be in the Grandbay 8 bank facility soon from now, so that people within this district, within the south, can benefit from these rural-based enterprise development centers. So we have a number of them around the country, and maybe if you see in Cottage was the last one that we launched, and 10 young men in terms of fishing. They were given boats, engine training, they did fish pot making and all of that, and I was happy to see pictures saying fish is back in Cottage. So you create employment and enterprise within this community. So we are decentralizing. And I'm not sure if, I am sure Dr. Darroux shared with you some goodies that would be coming for small business development. So there's a new strategy as well, where we decentralize these funds and would make it more readily available, like for example, through providing that lump sum to the community and having it monitored, working with us, in collaboration with us, for the development of enterprise. As we speak to the development of the new community, we learned of the market that will be there. We expect a commercial center that hopefully would stimulate a lot more economic activities, more businesses, more enterprise that can benefit these people of the community. So sometimes you may have a business idea. Though business idea is foolish, you may not know how to turn this idea into a full-fledged business. We have business officers who will provide you with that technical advice, will provide you with that the knowledge, who can guide you through, see how viable it is, come and do the site visit and all of that. All of these are activities that we do at the Ministry of Commerce. And just to tell you again, our program, our grant program, and our rural-based enterprise development programs are funded under the Citizenship by Investment program. And so you should ask yourself, what reason should we have to kill the goose that lays the golden eggs? And so there's a lot of misinformation out there about the Citizenship by Investment program. But I know, Dominica, we are very smart people, we are very bright people, and we understand what our government is doing towards the development of its people. Listening to me, you will hear the investment goes towards sustainable development, so that in the event one day we may not have the CBI funds, we are investing the funds in a way that we can improve the quality of life of our people, that we can ensure we have sustainable economic activities going on, and to put our people on sound footing that we can have a brighter future. So with the Citizenship by Investment program, which is under attack, we are striving on. We remain very focused. We understand that we are doing nothing wrong, and we are doing everything in the interest of Dominica. And any patriotic Dominica any Dominican who loves Dominica would support the Citizenship by Investment program. You cannot say, you say you smell a rat and you want to burn down the entire house to kill the rat you say you smell. And just smell, it doesn't necessarily mean there's a rat at all. So let's remain focused. Let us not be distracted. And when I hear the opposition, I think of the little Bible story where you had 2 mothers and 1 baby, and you tell me who wanted to kill the baby?
True.
The fake mother. Right. So we are not stupid at all. We are bright people. We are ambitious people. We are progressive people, and we will continue to work with you. And we ask you to continue to support and work with the government of the Commonwealth of Dominica.
Let me recognize your pal rep, Honorable Darroux, Nurse Charles, Nurse Paul, Chris, Honorable Paul, Chris, the PS in housing assistant, Mr. Blanchard, disaster coordinator. And I'm very, very happy that disaster coordinator would agree to come out of his retirement and come back to serve his country. That's a man of service. He has been serving long. And I'm sure it's not for much more money than he used to make before. And so when you have people like that who are willing to come forward from the comfort of their homes and enjoying their retirement to assist the country, then we need to say that in spite of everything else, there's still a few good Dominicans left in this place. As I've been told, the Prime Minister would have loved to be here, but he's out in Guyana at the heads of government meeting. That's a meeting that the heads attend every 6 months. All the heads, the presidents and the Prime Minister. There is no room for opposition. I have a problem in this country, and we have to pay attention to it. I understood that the opposition found himself in Guyana, saying that he's on the delegation to the Prime Minister. And he tried to slow it in the people meeting. The rest is history. But those things happen. But I'm here representing the Prime Minister, and I'm just saying to you that I would have preferred to be here as Reginald Austrie Minister of Housing. But you know, when you represent the Prime Minister, you have to be like the Prime Minister. Not like him, slim and tall and nice and so on. But your language has to be the language of the Prime Minister. I'm more comfortable being me. You know, I speak my mind and I say it as I see it. So I'm going to really try to represent the Prime Minister here tonight. But it is a pleasure for me to be here in Bellevue. In fact, I think I'm beginning to become part of the community. The last time I was here was a couple, well, I've been here because of the development project. But the last serious time I was here in Bellevue was in 2004. And I remember that very, very clearly, because that was the last time late Minister Roselyn, Mr. Petite and I were together. Because we were heading Monday, I think Cecil was there, when we were discussing the issues related to the victims of the landslide on the other side. We were heading Monday, we started at 6 o'clock, we left. And by 6 o'clock the following day, well, we all know what happened. And I will never forget Bellevue and the memories that Bellevue Chopin has left with me. And I have grown to love this community. And following that, we were able to resettle the families, 11 families. We had to purchase and acquire lands, and I want to come to this a little later. Acquire lands to build 11 homes down there and so on. Free of charge, totally free of charge. And to settle the people, understand they are doing quite well and we will settle. This time around again, we have to acquire lands and purchase lands. Some 49.6 acres of land, costing over $3 million. So that is important, because before that, Bellevue, as beautiful as it is, was landlocked. Was locked among some large estates. And you could stay in the house and you could see the land, but you couldn't go on the land. Maybe you could go on the land, but you either had permission to go, or you take your chances and you go on the land. And 20 years ago, the overseer would have run behind you. So that is another thing that the people from Bellevue have to be conscious of it. That once when you were landlocked, once you were locked into Bellevue, the government, through this program, has made it possible to open up Bellevue. And I heard tonight about Bellevue and Petite Savanne. There will be no Bellevue and there will be no Petite Savanne. There will be the Bellevue Chopin community. Yes. So, one of the problems we have in a small country like ours is small population. And that is a serious challenge for our economies. Because most of our economies are consumer-based economies, where we don't have so much, and I'm talking about not only Dominica, but I'm talking about St. Lucia, Antigua, where we are more consumer-type economies, buying and selling. And for you to be able to buy and sell properly, you have people to buy and people to sell. And the problem we have is small population base, little bit of people. And so over the years, the people before us and now have been trying to see how they can make us come together to create one market, to create one space, to get more people. So instead of dealing with Dominica as 70,000 people, you will be dealing with a region of 500,000 people. If you have 500,000 people, there's a greater opportunity for business development, there's a greater opportunity for survival. Now also in terms of your human resource base now, where the pool from which we choose resource people is not very large. So if we open it out and we can pull people from St. Lucia, St. Vincent, we have Dominicans working overseas. You have Erwin Larocque, you have Carissa Etienne, you have a number of Swinburne Lestrade. All these are Dominicans who, because of their skill and their talent, have been able to go out there and work within other countries, because we have made it possible for free movement of our people between one country and another country. And so we have the OECS as a block, as a unit. We have CARICOM as another block, as another unit. You have the European Union, where all Europe, with all their big economies, they thought it was necessary for them to come together, economically, financially, and otherwise, to create a bigger market, so they could trade better and they could bring economic prosperity to their peoples. And I say this and put it in context of what is happening to you here in Bellevue Chopin and in Dominica. Most of the villages are small, and through migration, they're getting smaller and smaller. You can remember Bellevue now, if you go there, a number of empty houses. I don't know if you go to La Plaine, Cecil, and areas like Castle Roost, where many of the people have migrated to St. Croix and to Houston and to Texas, that half of the houses in Castle Roost are closed because the people have left and migrated. All the bakeries are shut down because there's nobody to buy the bread. People don't go to fish anymore because there are not many people to buy it. Because like I remember I said, we're a consumption-based economy where we buy and sell. And so the less people you have is the less you can sell. In 10 years ago, you could break 5 here, and 10 here you could break. Today, not because things are tight, but because you don't have many people braiding here anymore. People go to Roseau and they braid their hairs in Roseau. So you have less people now for hair braiding. So things are getting bad. The point I'm trying to make is, you the people of Bellevue Chopin have a very important and unique opportunity to grow your population, to expand your population, so businesses and activity, commercial activity in Bellevue can grow. And so for you to people of Bellevue, while Tropical Storm Erica was a a bad beating we got from tropical South America. Over 521 homes were destroyed from tropical Storm America, costing over $148 million if we have to rebuild this. 283 homes were destroyed in Petite Savanne. And so you in Bellevue now have an opportunity to have an increased population. It could have been Haitians, like we have in some communities. It could have been Spanish, like we have in some communities. And you know the difference between the Haitian and the Spanish. And you here in Bellevue now have an opportunity where you have a larger population, which gives you an opportunity to do more business. If you put your head right and you sit and you focus on the positives rather than focus on the negatives. And so, every disappointment, there is a blessing. Sometimes it comes at a cost, sometimes it comes with tears, but there's nothing we can do about it. It's an event that none of us had any control over. So the event has come, the event has gone. We have to now look forward. We cannot look back. We have to look forward. And I believe the forward we're looking is to see what opportunities that can be created now as we speak, which we have spoken about: job creation, employment creation, expansion of business. Because when these Chinese people come, you don't have to know what to cook for them. But when these Chinese people come, that's an opportunity. All the bakeries that were closed down in Bellevue, it's time now to reopen them. Because that's an opportunity. You have population, you have people in the place to eat what you produce, to buy more bakes, to buy more chicken, to buy more accra, to sell more beer, to sell more. And so I believe it's in that context, we need to look at what is happening in Bellevue and what will happen in Bellevue when after 2018, when all the components of the program will be satisfied. Let's see what will happen to Bellevue. The other opportunity I see for it is for Bellevue now to become the center of the South. Because with the markets that are going to be open, with your high population, with your nightlife and your entertainment that will come, nightlife and entertainment. Because you cannot have 280 homes. How many people talking about that? 800. We're talking about, as a population of Bellevue, 5 something. So we're talking about 13,000 people resident inside of Bellevue. 1,300 resident inside of Bellevue. Now you have to, and more will come because I'm telling you, Petite Savanne people are ugly. And Bellevue people are ugly. Both man and woman. So, here was the opportunity for you here in Bellevue to become the next urban center of Dominica. So they have 2 towns post of Barroso. I think that Bellevue is well positioned to be town number 3 in because when you open a farmer's market, which is now being established, and when the 26 commercial units, I'm not going to be long because I know you need to ask some questions, but I'm just raising some points which you can think about. When you have the 26 commercial units for barber shops, for hair braiding, for tailor shops, for seamstresses, for combing of hair, for painting of fingernails, brown powder and lipstick. Don't be surprised, huh? Don't be surprised if everything don't show up there. Anyway, but seriously. So you're going to have people from, especially in the market, because you are known here as an agricultural economy. And you do a lot of organics, organic agriculture. And do not be surprised if you find people from Newton, Louvier, Roseau, Grandbay, health-conscious people will be making their way to Bellevue because you have a market here, you have activity here, you have action here in Bellevue. And so you the people of Bellevue, that is your opportunity. And you now must not let nobody come here and get it before you. Because you're here. The opportunities are here. And Ms. Paul just told you that their money is available right now as we speak for small business development and enhancement. So you don't have to wait until all the houses are built and people come to say to start your process. Because by the time you do that, somebody else catch up with you. You have to start the process now. If you need some training, it's time to go to school now. If you have to go and learn to do the hair, it's time to go to the small program. If you have to go and learn to use the computers, now is the time to do it. So by the time this development comes, you will be ready for action. And it's not going to happen like one morning you wake up and you just see plenty of people around you. It's a gradual process and people will be coming in gradually. So you have to begin now. See that as the opportunity to begin the process of utilizing your increased population to make a better and decent living for yourself here in Bellevue. The other opportunity I see for you here in Bellevue is home improvement and community enhancement. Because really, and the government would like it, like across the road, you have all these nice fancy buildings, and I hear it's going to be the best. 2 bedrooms, 3 bedrooms, upstairs and downstairs. Nice place. And when the sun shines and it reflected back there, we wanted to reflect on a nice place too, which is Bellevue. So that's an opportunity for the government itself now, and your village council and your parliament to begin making representation on your behalf for the enhancement of your housing, for your washrooms, for your good roads, for your good streets, so you will be the reflection of what this new community is supposed to be like. So here was an opportunity for self-improvement, where you can improve your social condition on top of what you're doing right now. So these are some of the benefits we see coming out of this Bellevue development. I'm not going to speak much about it. There's nothing more I can say about that development, but just to tell you, the people of Bellevue, that you now have an opportunity to create history in Dominica. 1, history as the third tongue in Dominica. That's your opportunity. 2, an opportunity to be the most economically viable community in the country because you now have the numbers. You can now do 2 rounders team instead of 1 rounders team because you have numbers. Dr. Darroux said you're not used to cricket, but you can have 2 cricket teams because of the numbers. You can have 2 football teams because of the numbers. Because numbers is what's important. It's the amount of people you have that will determine your level of prosperity based on your economy. You understand? You understanding me? Yes. Is that making sense so far? Yes, sir. But all this would not be possible had it not been for the vision and the foresight of the government. No. Why do I say this? Dominica is an agricultural-based economy. Hurricane Erica passed, or Storm Erica, whatever you want to call it, and cost us at the end of Erica, we were left with $1.3 billion worth of expenditure, and we lost 90% of our GDP. We were almost written to the ground, flat down, everything flat down. So we had to rebuild it. Now we only 17 months after Erica, 17 months after Erica, and we were in a rebuilding process when Erica came. Because don't forget, we had challenges from 2000 coming forward, and we're going to go down there tonight. We have no time to go down that road, where we were between 1995 and 2000, and what we had to do from 2000 with you, the people of Bellevue, and the economy to get us to where we are. But what has been happening lately is we have a lot of natural enemies of our agriculture. Bananas, we have diseases, right? We have black cicatricus, now we have the yellow ones, we have black ones, which is a challenge for us to fight. And you know what that done to the industry. We have limes. We lost our lime industry because of the disease and other stuff. Well, the vanilla them go a long time, so we're not really bothered about vanilla. But I understand now Dasheen have issues. We have some Dasheen disease. We have the Tanya wedding disease. We have coconut mite or coconut blight, whatever they call it. So flowers, they are problem with our flowers. So it seemed to me that most of our agricultural enterprise endeavors are being challenged, costing us millions and millions of dollars to resuscitate it. But while all that is happening, you have a country to build. You have to buy chalk for the children to go to school. You have to buy medicine. You have to buy everything. The government, you have salaries to pay. You have public officers to pay. You have young students to send to the college. And so this government has been taught like every other country, because what we're experiencing now, as far as the economy is concerned, is not unique to Dominica. It's not Dominica alone that have a problem. America have a problem, Europe have a problem, Antigua have a problem, Trinidad have oil have a problem, Venezuela have a problem, China have a problem. All countries have the problems because of the economic crisis that hit the international community about 10 years ago, and it continues. Now we need to tie this up so before I leave. Now governments can get money in 3 different ways. One, you can take loans. So you go to CDB and borrow, you go to World Bank, you go to IMF, and it's not free money. Because when you take them a loan, you have to pay back for it. Now, if the government takes a loan, it's the government that have to pay. And how does the government pay? Tell me again, tax. So you can imagine if after Hurricane Erica, we have to take loans to rebuild our infrastructure, because it's not housing alone that was affected. Bridges, airport, beaches, Tabasco. I mean, all now we have, and for 8 months now we have backward excavator trying to take out the silt in the river. Because every time a little rain falls, people can slip. Because we have drizzle of rain that fall, because the river bed is high now, so any little rain will flood the country. So imagine if we have to take loans to rebuild Dominica, America. But I'm telling you that people would still be intent and we have no idea. Petite Savanne people like Dr. Darroux said will probably be in the threat of staying in Petite Savanne. You cannot raise taxes. So loans, one, we can raise taxes. Or do you believe that Dominica is in a position now to impose more taxes on the people of Dominica? So we cannot impose taxes. And then you have the issue with grants now. Before, you send you little money now, government. But with all those governments having their own challenges in their own country, everybody looking out from inside to fix the problem, because they cannot pay attention. And Trump said that. Trump told his business about taking his money outside there. All Mexicans go home, all black people go home, all Indians go home. Because what he has is for his people in America. Okay? So, with the economy that's in trouble and in problem, your government now have to find creative ways to make things happen. Because you cannot depend on the traditional sources. And here comes the Citizen by Investment Program. And just, you must have heard just recently, we just signed a contract to rebuild the homes that got built in Silver Lake for over $1.6 million. But you have to build it, because the people and their families scattered out. Some in Goodwill, some in Newtown, some in Soufriere, the mother over there, the father, no, you can't be living like that. So you have to bring them together as quickly as possible. So the CBI that we spoken about, it's not Dominica that makes CBI. It's not Dominica that creates CBI. St. Kitts have CBI. Antigua have CBI. St. Lucia have CBI. That within the region. Grenada have, even St. Vincent have a kind of CBI, not the same thing, but a different type. The United States, Dr. Darroux told you, have a program. You might call it a different name. It might be, but when you add it all up together, it comes back to the same thing. When you invest your money for citizenship in another country. What we have been able to do, we have been able to refine ours in such a way to make it the most attractive program in the region. Right. And that is why our program is so successful. And that is why it's an envy of many of the islands. Because when our Prime Minister leaves here and goes to 5 countries in 5 days, when he comes back, he brings people with him who wants to invest. And we're not only using money like Roselyn Paul said, to cook peas and rice and dumpling on Sunday afternoon, but we're using the money for investment purposes that will create jobs and that will create activities within the economy, and we can continue to build our economy. And that is what the CBI program really does for us. It gives us an opportunity. So it's not to say that is the only thing we have to depend on. But if we have to depend on the other things, they're not sufficient. Banana money not sufficient to run this country. Tourism money not sufficient to run this country. Dashing money not enough. Coconut money not enough. We haven't got it. So what do? We throw our hands in the air and say, God, it's time to end the world? No. Yeah, if you can go up, you can go up, you can go down. Just stay down. Just stay down. But the government, we have found creative ways to improve on those creative ways to ensure that we can raise the necessary financing that is required to meet our everyday expenditure and to go beyond that. And to pass back some of the proceeds from the CBI in a direct way to the people of this country. And that is why the housing development here, the creature of the CBI is money. Because let me tell you something. Government don't have no law that says if a man or birth the government must fix it, you know. There's not a law saying that. If that was a law, all the people who lost their homes in America under Katrina, they'll be back in their homes already. Some of them still living in tents. Okay? So, but the government, as a caring government, a number of people, we have had problems before, we have had disasters before, but how many times have we heard the government move in and create and seek to ease up the pressure and the problem of the people suffering? So it's not a legal, it's a moral conscience issue that the government in its wisdom have decided that these people from Petite, Savanne and Bellevue and Jubic who had lost their homes and lost their families, we felt that we had an obligation to reach out to these people and to seek to assist them in rebuilding their lives. And that is why we're doing it. And we're doing for Bellevue what we're doing now. So I stopped saying for Petite, Savanne people. Because Petite, Savanne people will come to stay in the houses, but Bellevue people will reap the benefit of the Petite, Savanne coming into Bellevue. So this business about this for Petite, Savanne people is for Petite. No, the people from Bellevue, if you position yourself well, you will benefit just as equally and maybe even more than the people of Petite, Savanne. So we have been able to use and we have been able to bounce back. I mean, when the guy came here from the ECCB, the whole region is amazed as to how Dominica can bounce back. With such a small population, in less than 17 months, bounce back. That today the government, under the crisis, have money to assist people with their washrooms. We have money to pay transportation to help young children to go to school. We have $70, $300 that we can give to people who didn't qualify under the Social Security scheme. We have money for Yes We Care. People said that those programs will not last. But those programs are 3, 4, 5 years and climbing and expanding. And we have money to help people in their home renovation, which we've been doing for the last 10 years. And now we add the washroom company. You know, when I went to Kings Hill and I looked at the figures I had, I found out that we had in 2 years. And remember when the Prime Minister made the announcement, as he said by 2020, we would like to see every single home in Dominica with a modern washroom. No more pit latrines. And we all of us know pit latrines because one time or another, most of us had the opportunity. And it's good experience. When we think back now, very well those pit latrines. Huh? Imagine that. Just close your eyes. Just close your eyes. And dream. You go into the pit latrine. You could hardly fit in it. It's a little house like that, like so. With a big hole under you, so. And a seat. And let me tell you something. Half of us, if you to sit down on the seat, you have to stand up on it. That seat has so much red on that seat. You don't want to sit down on that thing there. So you have to stand up on it. Rain, sun, You have to open the door and go outside. You understand? Let's not talk about cockroach. Let's not talk about mosquito. Let's not talk about rats. Let's not talk about centipede. Let's not talk about babuya. That is your big country. And that is what the government is seeking to eradicate. And now we say that with the resources from the CBI, we can now move from 2020, when we said it was eliminated, to 2017. So by the end of this year, we're hoping that the pit latrine will be a monument for tourists to come and see. The pit latrine will be a tourist site. To see how people used to live, and to see where people used to live, and how people used to have themselves. That itself will be the museum. It has to be the museum. Because people wouldn't even know what you're talking about, and they will not understand. They will not understand what you're talking about. So when I was in Kings Hill, we had about 850 persons that were already fitted with washroom facility. Everything paid for by the government. The only thing we ask you, if you can, is to dig the hole and to dig the septic tank. We do everything for you. We put the piece on the house, we buy all the pipe, we buy all the toilet, we put the tile, we just set you up. And we had already spent $9 million. Like when I checked 2 weeks ago, we had already spent $9 million on washroom facility. But just this week, look, Dr. Darroux told you that he got another 220,000, that is 920,000, and I just signed a document today for 531,000 with $500,000. So from last week to this week, we have now moved to $10 million because of the power of the Citizenship by Investment Program, the new and emerging economy, what will seek to rescue our country and to bring a better standard of living for the people of this country. So the road, so the money we make from FIG and COPRA, if you have that still, that will go towards buying medicine, that will go towards paying public officers, that will go towards buying jobs for the school children and so on. But without the CBI, that is where it stops. And don't forget, since in 1999, we were already borrowing money from Trinidad to pay salaries. So even at that time, we could not pay our public officers when we came in 2000. When we came in 2000, we made about $30 million worth of money owed to the private sector. Now the private sector is the engine of growth in your country. And if the government holding back 30 million from the private sector, then how can they survive? Either on overdraft or they have to shut down. And there was another $1.3 million, no, $100 million in unprocessed checks from the private sector for plywood and cement that the previous government had taken and so on and so on and so on. So at that time, 17 years ago, we already had trouble when we had bananas, we had lime, we had cocoa, we had fig, we had coconut. We were already borrowing money to pay public officers. So how would you do it now, 17 years later, when you don't have that? So that is what the CBI program has been doing for Dominica. That is why we're so upset about people. If you have a problem with the government, let's deal with the government and its problem. But you cannot attack the lifeblood. You cannot cut the main vein that supplies blood to your body. You cannot cut it, you'll die. You understand? And you can't cut your neighbor own because your neighbor will die. You understand? And the CBI is the lifeblood of the economy at this time. We're not sure how long it's going to last. It may change, and we have to find something else because you can't just let your people stay there. So you have to be thinking creatively all the time. What is it you have to do? What is it you can do? And that's the job of a government. Because you go to the people saying, I will make your life better. You never tell them how you're going to do it. You improve their life, you do them this, you look so, you look so. But when you're there, you never know what's hitting you. But you can't throw your hands up in the air. You have to continue working. And the CBI is a means, like I said, not only being used by Dominica, but by a number of countries. The problem is we have been able to do it bigger and have been able to do it better than the other. So our people are now benefiting in a bigger and better way. So I know we want to, people talk a lot, people talk a lot about stuff. But it's 8 o'clock, we didn't take some time for questioning, and This Paul has to go back to Bouche tonight. By the time I reach us my home, fine enough, she'll still be driving on the road. When I drive faster than her, so she have 2 better legs than me. I can still drive faster than her. So, I will pause there and we can continue the discussion, but we'll do it in the form of questions. So you'll ask us the question and we can use the response to the question to clarify, to expand, and to ease up the. But the people of Bellevue, I'm saying to you that you have a God-blessed opportunity. It came under a very difficult challenge. It came in a very unfortunate incident, but that is water under the bridge. We now have to look forward and let's see how we, rather than stay there and fight about who coming and who not coming and where they're going, let us see what is in it for us. And we've told you here tonight that there is a lot in it for the people of Bellevue. But you have to come together, you have to work with your village council, you have to work with your parliament, and you have to work with your new neighbors. You have to work with your new neighbors to get them to buy into your business, and so we can continue to live harmoniously as a beautiful community. There's a lot of work you have to do here in Bellevue. You have to keep it clean, you have to keep it peaceful, you have to educate your people, and you have to prepare yourself for the whole opportunities that are ahead. May God continue to bless you, bless your government, and enjoy the rest of the night. Thank you.